Have you ever found yourself caught in a cycle of chasing someone who seems just out of reach? You send texts, you make plans, you go out of your way to show her your worth. But the harder you try, the more distant she becomes. It feels frustrating, doesn't it? You might even feel like you're losing control of the situation and, worse yet, losing control of yourself. If this resonates with you, it's time to stop. Not just stop chasing her, but stop chasing altogether. There's a profound shift that happens when you focus less on her and more on yourself. This isn't about playing games or manipulation. It's about embracing a powerful mindset that has guided some of the greatest thinkers in history, Stoicism. By embodying key Stoic principles, not only will you regain your self-worth, but she'll start to see what she's been missing. Today, we'll explore how Stoicism can transform your approach to relationships and help you reclaim your power. From self-sufficiency to emotional control, to the wisdom of silence, each lesson will show you how to make her want you. Not because you're chasing, but because you're mastering yourself. Before we dive in, type "I choose myself" first in the comments, because today is the day you stop running after her and start walking toward your own strength. 1. Be complete on your own. The cornerstone of Stoicism is self-sufficiency. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." In the context of relationships, this means you must be fulfilled and whole within yourself before you can truly connect with someone else. Often, we make the mistake of looking for completion in another person, thinking that if we can just make them love us, then we'll be happy. But this is a trap. True fulfillment comes from within. When you're complete on your own, your emotional well-being is not dependent on external validation, especially not from someone else. Chasing someone implies a lack of completeness. It suggests that without them, you are somehow incomplete. But when you shift your focus inward and start working on yourself, your health, your passions, your goals, you're no longer seeking external approval. You're content with who you are. This creates a powerful shift in your energy. The paradox is that self-sufficiency is incredibly attractive. When you're no longer chasing after someone, they start to notice. Why? Because you've taken back your power. You've stopped giving away your energy and started investing it in yourself. This kind of independence and confidence is magnetic. Suddenly, she'll begin to wonder why you're no longer seeking her attention, and curiosity often leads to attraction. Self-sufficiency doesn't mean you're shutting others out. It means you're living in alignment with your values and priorities. You're not constantly looking for someone to fill a void because there is no void. The more you cultivate your own life, the more attractive you become, not just to her, but to anyone who comes into your orbit. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. To live in accordance with nature, which means living in alignment with your true self. By focusing on your growth, you signal that your time and energy are valuable. This, in turn, makes others value you more. And that's the key. When you're self-sufficient, you don't need to prove your worth to anyone. Your worth is self-evident. And when you live from this place of inner strength, she'll start to see what she's missing. 2. Control your emotions. Be calm in the chaos. Emotional control is one of the hallmarks of Stoicism, and it's essential in relationships. Seneca, another famous Stoic, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This rings especially true in the world of dating and relationships. How many times have you sent a message and then, after receiving no response, spiraled into thoughts of insecurity or doubt? You start imagining the worst. Did I say something wrong? Is she losing interest? These thoughts can lead to impulsive actions, sending follow-up messages, over-explaining yourself, or seeking reassurance in ways that ultimately push her further away. Stoicism teaches that we must learn to control our emotions, especially in moments of uncertainty. When you allow your emotions to dictate your actions, you lose control, not just of the situation, but more importantly, of yourself. Reacting impulsively often leads to outcomes we regret. Instead, Stoics advocate for pause and reflection. This momentary space between stimulus and response is where your power lies. When you can calmly observe your emotions without acting on them, you regain control of the situation. Imagine this scenario. She hasn't responded to your message. Your initial reaction might be to feel anxious or rejected. But instead of reacting emotionally, take a step back. Recognize that her silence does not define your worth. Use this moment to practice patience. You are not desperate for her attention because your value is not tied to her response. By staying composed, you project strength and confidence, qualities that are universally attractive. Emotional control also signals maturity. In a world where so many people react impulsively to the slightest provocation, being calm under pressure sets you apart. It shows that you are grounded and secure in who you are. When others are losing their cool, you remain poised. This kind of composure not only earns respect but also makes others feel safe around you. She will sense this and start to appreciate your ability to remain calm, even when things are uncertain. Lastly, emotional control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means understanding them, acknowledging them, but not letting them rule your actions. By mastering your emotions, you show that you are the master of yourself, and that is a powerful place to be. 3. The power of letting go. One of the most counterintuitive lessons in Stoicism and in relationships is the power of letting go. Epictetus, a key figure in Stoic philosophy, taught that freedom is the only worthy goal in life. When applied to relationships, this means letting go of the need to control outcomes. Often, we cling to relationships or people out of fear of being alone, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But this attachment only pushes others away. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you trust the natural flow of life. You stop trying to force things and allow them to unfold as they will. This kind of detachment is powerful. It creates space for others to choose you freely, without pressure. When you're constantly chasing someone, you inadvertently create resistance. No one wants to feel controlled or manipulated. But when you let go, you give her the freedom to decide if she wants to come back to you. And that freedom is far more compelling than any chase. Absence plays a crucial role here. The more you try to hold on to her, the more she'll slip away. But when you embrace absence, you allow her the time and space to reflect on what she's missing. If you're always present, always available, she has no opportunity to miss you. But when you pull back, she starts to notice the void. She begins to wonder what you're doing, why you're no longer seeking her attention, and this curiosity often leads her to re-engage. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of accepting what we cannot control. In relationships, this means accepting that you cannot control someone else's feelings or actions. What you can control is how you respond to their absence. When you let go of the need to be constantly involved, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of chasing and being chased. Instead, you cultivate inner peace and strength. The irony is that by letting go, you often create the space for her to come back. When she sees that you're not desperate for her attention, she starts to wonder why. She begins to miss the person who was once always there. And in that absence, she might realize what she's lost. This is the power of letting go, not as a tactic, but as a genuine practice of emotional freedom. 4. Focus on your purpose. One of the most important aspects of Stoicism is living in alignment with your purpose. Seneca once said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." In relationships, this means that instead of focusing all your energy on someone else, you should be pouring it into your own life, your goals, your passions, your purpose. The more you invest in yourself, the more attractive you become, not just to her, but to anyone who crosses your path. Purpose-driven people have a certain magnetism. When you're deeply committed to something larger than yourself, you radiate confidence and focus. You're not chasing after trivial things because you're too busy building something meaningful. This makes you someone worth noticing. When you're consumed by your work, your hobbies, or your personal growth, you stop needing someone else's validation. You're fulfilled by your own journey. Moreover, when your life is full of passion and purpose, you become someone others want to be around. You inspire people not because you're trying to impress them, but because you're so deeply engaged in something that matters. She'll start to see that you're not like everyone else. You're not waiting around for her to notice you. You're too busy creating a life that's fulfilling and exciting, with or without her. This doesn't mean you ignore her or play hard to get. It means you shift your focus away from her and toward your own personal growth. The more you develop yourself, the more attractive you become. People are naturally drawn to those who are passionate about their lives. She'll start to realize that being with you means being part of something exciting, something meaningful. And here's the key. When you live with purpose, you stop chasing. You don't have time for games because you're too focused on your own path. And this makes you someone worth missing. She'll see that you're not just another guy trying to win her over. You're someone with a vision, someone with drive, and that's incredibly attractive. 5. Be mindful in every interaction. Less is more. One of the most powerful lessons Stoicism teaches is mindfulness, the ability to be fully present in the moment. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In relationships, this means that instead of overthinking or overanalyzing your interactions, you simply focus on being the best version of yourself in every moment. When you're mindful, you're fully engaged in the present, and this kind of presence is rare and valuable. In today's fast-paced world, most people are distracted. They're thinking about what to say next, worrying about how they're being perceived, or replaying past conversations in their heads. But when you're truly mindful, you're not concerned with any of that. You're fully immersed in the moment, and this creates a powerful connection. She'll sense that you're not just going through the motions, you're genuinely present with her. Mindfulness also means being intentional in your actions. You don't need to over-explain yourself or constantly express your feelings. Your actions will speak louder than words. When you do something, do it with intention. When you say something, make sure it's meaningful. This creates a sense of depth in your interactions, which is far more memorable than superficial small talk. Moreover, being mindful means you're not chasing after every interaction. You're not trying to manipulate the situation or control the outcome. You're simply present, responding authentically to the moment. This kind of presence is disarming. It shows that you're confident enough to let things unfold naturally. She'll appreciate that you're not trying to force anything, and this will make her feel more comfortable around you. Lastly, mindfulness in relationships means being aware of your own needs and boundaries. You're not just focused on pleasing her. You're also tuned in to what's best for you. This balance of giving and receiving creates a healthy dynamic where both people feel valued. When you're mindful in every interaction, you create moments that are meaningful and worth remembering. And it's those moments that she'll miss when you're not around. 6. Silence speaks volumes. Use it wisely. In a world filled with noise, silence can be one of the most powerful tools at your disposal. Stoic wisdom teaches that silence is not just the absence of sound. It's the presence of thought, of reflection. There's an old saying, speech is silver, but silence is golden. When you know how to use silence effectively, you create space for reflection and intrigue, especially in relationships. One of the most common mistakes people make is feeling the need to constantly fill the air with words. We're conditioned to think that silence is awkward, that if we're not talking, something is wrong. But in reality, silence can be incredibly powerful. It allows the other person to reflect on what was said and, more importantly, on what wasn't said. When you're not always available, when you're not always responding immediately, you create a sense of mystery. Silence also gives her the opportunity to miss you. If you're always present, always talking, always texting, she has no space to reflect on your absence. But when you step back and allow silence to enter the dynamic, she'll start to wonder about you. She'll start to think about what you're doing, who you're with, and why you're not seeking her attention. This curiosity is often the catalyst for attraction. Moreover, silence shows confidence. It signals that you're comfortable with yourself and don't need constant validation. When you can sit in silence without feeling the need to fill it, you demonstrate emotional maturity. You're not reacting impulsively, you're responding thoughtfully, and this kind of restraint is incredibly attractive. But silence isn't just about creating distance, it's about using that distance to create depth. When you do speak, your words carry more weight because they're not lost in a sea of chatter. Your silence makes her pay attention, and when you finally do say something, she'll listen more closely. This is the power of silence. It forces others to lean in and engage with you on a deeper level. The art of not chasing. Let her come to you. In the end, the art of making her miss you is not about manipulation or playing hard to get. It's about mastering yourself. Stoicism teaches that the most powerful thing you can control is your own mind, your own emotions, your own actions. When you stop chasing her and start focusing on your own growth, your own purpose, and your own emotional mastery, something remarkable happens. She starts to notice. You're no longer the person desperately seeking her attention. You've become someone worth noticing, worth missing. And this shift is profound. She'll see that you're not just another person vying for her time. You're someone who has his own path, his own strength, his own confidence. And that kind of self-assurance is magnetic. Stop running after her. Start walking toward your own power. Let her come to you, not because you've manipulated her into missing you, but because you've become someone who naturally attracts attention by living authentically, confidently, and fully. Before you go, remember to drop a comment below with the words, "I choose myself first." This simple act will serve as a reminder that you are your own highest priority, and when you live from that place, you become irresistible. If you found value in this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content on how Stoicism can transform your relationships and your life. Stay strong, stay resilient, and keep moving forward with grace and confidence. Until next time.